Next time you raise a glass to celebrate a promotion or just survive a long Friday, pause for a second, because that simple act of taking a sip is not just a modern way to unwind. It is a 10-million-year-old survival mechanism that quite literally engineered human civilization. We usually think of alcohol as a luxury byproduct of society, something we invented after we figured out how to build farms and cities. But modern evolutionary biology tells a wildly different story. It starts millions of years before Homo sapiens even existed, when our primate ancestors were facing starvation in the cooling, unpredictable climates of ancient Africa. A genetic mutation occurred specifically in an enzyme called ADH4, which suddenly allowed these apes to safely digest the ethanol found in rotting, fermented fruit that had fallen to the forest floor. This was not about getting a buzz. It was a desperate, primal hunt for calorie-dense food, and the intoxicating effect was just a biochemical bonus that trained their developing brains to seek out that distinct scent over and over again. We are biologically hardwired to chase it, which brings us to the first major twist in our history that proves just how deeply this craving shaped our destiny. But before we uncover the 12,000-year-old crime scene that rewrite human history, drop a quick comment below telling me your absolute go-to weekend drink, and let me know if you actually buy into the theory that early humans were just ancient party animals, because reading your perspectives really helps the channel grow. Now, here is where the story shifts from biology to a historical bombshell that will change everything you were taught in high school. For centuries, the textbook narrative was that humans started farming to bake bread, settled into stable villages to escape the harsh nomadic life, and then eventually stumbled upon the magic of brewing. But a monumental archaeological site in southeastern Turkey called Göbekli Tepe completely shatters that timeline. Imagine a massive, complex temple constructed with 10-ton stone pillars carved with intricate animals, built thousands of years before the invention of the wheel, pottery, or agriculture. These builders were still nomadic hunter-gatherers. So what could possibly motivate them to endure the back-breaking labor of building a mega-structure? The answer was found inside massive stone vats at the site, which contained the unmistakable chemical residue of fermented grain. They were brewing massive vats of primitive beer for epic communal feasts. The groundbreaking theory now sweeping the scientific community is the beer before bread hypothesis, suggesting that early humans did not domesticate crops to survive. They domesticated crops to brew alcohol for massive religious and social gatherings. Think about the profound psychological value of this from a modern behavioral perspective. Early human tribes were highly territorial and aggressive, so gathering thousands of strangers to build a temple should have resulted in a bloodbath. But alcohol acted as the ultimate social lubricant. It lowered primal inhibitions, fostered deep trust, and allowed massive groups to cooperate on a scale never before seen in nature. The desire to gather, bond, and drink was the true catalyst that forced us to invent agriculture just to secure a steady supply of barley and wheat. By the time we reach the era of the Great Pyramids in ancient Egypt, this liquid gold was literally the backbone of the entire economy. The laborers dragging a massive limestone blocks across the desert were not paid in gold coins or raw grain. They received a daily ration of thick, nutrient-dense beer. It was significantly safer than the bacteria-ridden water of the Nile, packed with essential calories for grueling labor, and even served as a base for medical prescriptions. This gives us a fascinating practical insight into our own modern behavior. Today, we still use different beverages as psychological tools. Coffee drives our solitary, modern productivity, but sharing a drink remains our most primal way of signaling trust, vulnerability, and community. We are simply echoing a ritual that began with a hungry primate on an ancient forest floor and later birthed the first cities, temples, and economies. So the next time you sit in a crowded room with a drink in your hand, remember you are participating in the oldest unbroken chain of human connection. This is the beauty of looking beneath the surface of our everyday habits, a quiet reminder to pause, reflect, and appreciate the profound history hidden in plain sight. Thank you for tuning into The Quiet Mindset, where we uncover the silent forces shaping our world. And until next time, keep observing, keep questioning, and keep your mind open.